Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to see how important is the use of body language. How do we understand people? How do they express with their hands, their body, or their feet? In this video today, we're going to see the importance of expression, what to have in mind when we do a presentation, analyzing the body language of people around us, and the new thing, body language through video conference. Remember that 10% of what we remember is through what we hear, 20% is what we read, and 80% is exactly what we remember when we see or do it. We express what we feel before we even say it. Have you ever thought of that? Look at this actor. His expressions want to transfer a feeling to us. People can either express what they feel or try to show that they feel something different of what they actually do. It's not only the face, it's also the tone of the voice, the gestures, the eye contact, the location in the space, the touches of our body, of our own hands, and expressive movements. Of course, silence is something that is also important. Let's reflect on what we know. What's a presentation? What's a talk? What's a speech? Actually, it's a visual performance and a very good qualification for a person. Think about your teachers or your trainers. What do you love? What do you hate on what the way they do? What is your favorite teacher? Probably he expresses very well to understand what the lesson is that he's talking or she's talking about. In order to prepare ourselves, it's good to find other presentations and understand what keeps our interest. Of course, it's an excellent opportunity to manage your stress. And as we said in a previous video about presentations, practice makes perfect. Be ready at the end of the presentation to answer questions and how you will answer them. People will also see your body language, an extra stress to us. But rehearse, practice, repeat, and you will improve. What do we see in these pictures? People are using their hands, their face, they're laughing, they're serious, they want to transfer their energy to the audience. And how does the audience respond to that? The first thing to look into is our eyes. When you do a presentation, look at the audience, smile, be enthusiastic, and transfer what you want to say to them. If you're too stressed, look between two people. They will think that you're looking at them, but you will not actually be looking at them directly in the eyes. Or look at the end of the room. What do you see in this picture? We can see a speaker behind a podium, so we can only see her upper body, but she looks smiling, she uses her hands, and it seems that most of people are intrigued by her in a positive or negative way. We're not aware, we're not sure. But look at all the 5 people next to her, they are actually looking at her, but with a different facial expression. In relation to our space, people have the intimate space, which is a space from 15 centimeters to 45 centimeters. We don't allow many people to come into this space. It's very intimate. The personal space is where we have our friends from 46 centimeters to a meter and something. The social space, when we meet people and we discuss, and of course the public spaces where we want to be away from others we don't know. Can you see the emojis, the new emojis coming in 2022, which are located to the bottom left? The rest of the image is emojis that we use in our daily lives to react, to respond, and interact with our friends. Palms upwards, downwards, or indicating. We want to say something, we want to offer something, or when we want to open a gesture, and we're submissive basically, we offer something, like a beggar. If you want to be the boss, so you want to say, do this or do that, that's what I said, you place your palm down. And of course, When we indicate something, we want to show it to someone, we close our fist, and it's a symbolic hit. You want to tell him what to do. Of course, we know that different expressions, different handshakes, and we'll see this in many politics, is how people do a handshake. Is it a vertical one? Is it a top or a bottom one? This identifies who has the top. So let's watch this video that will tell us about the gestures around the world.
It's well known that some gestures mean different things in different parts of the world. In some places, such as Britain, this means everything's okay, while in Brazil and other places, it's considered obscene. And in still other places, such as Japan, it means money. In Italy, they might make this sign to emphasize a point, while in Jordan, it can mean wait a second. Certain things often have gestures for them. For instance, in most places where drinking alcohol is popular, there's a sign for drinking or getting drunk. In the US, it's this. While in France, they grab and twist their nose, and in Russia, they flick their throat. On the other hand, some places have more or less unique gestures. In Russia, to say you're making things too complicated, you scratch your ear by going around the back of your head. Among the most common and probably oldest gestures are nodding for yes and shaking the head for no. But even this isn't universal. Bulgarians are famous for shaking their head to mean yes, and nodding with a click of the tongue to mean no. And in South Asia, they have a third option, which involves tilting the head from side to side. It's used to acknowledge the person speaking to you, although in some contexts it can also mean approval or even uncertainty.
Many people, many gestures, different cultures. So how do we use our hands and palms? It can start from the simple, like listening to something, making it a bit interesting, and then my body's leaning also forward to you. But then I'm getting bored, and even worse, and I'm getting bored, and I'm laying on my table. Also, how do we use our hands in our pockets and then behind our body? If you can see in the bottom images, basically a person is holding its own arm. But remember, when we're really young, our parents hold us like this to make us feel secure. So when we're stressed, we feel secure and we hold our own body. So when we touch our nose or rub our eyes, it's because there's too much blood moving into our face. This is why we're stressed or we're lying. Ear rubs, neck scratches, feeling awkward, feeling the heat, feeling pressure, but also biting our nails. Each expression says a different thing. In general, when you want to say something is that if you have closed, crossed arms, we're blocking the other person. If we're sitting and we're also blocking with our legs, is that we don't feel comfortable with the other person we're close to. Or we are cold. So one expression and one feature does not indicate what the others do. We need to spend time with people to see how they react, how do they respond. In general, the term that if your thumbs are showing, it shows that you feel superior. Look at those people sitting. It's either the cross-legging, but it could be comfortable, relaxing, tired, or blocking. But in general, they consider as defense postures. Here are some rules when you do a presentation. Should be open. To open your arms, use your chest. Mediterranean people use more of their hands. Northern countries, not so. But be open. Try to understand to people. Don't close yourself and be like this or like this when you do a presentation. You want people to like you and understand and feel that you are open and accepting what they want to share with you. This will also make them more comfortable asking you questions. Second rule, smile. It's a very powerful weapon. To engage people with our gestures, we should use our hands, our arms, and also have the eye contact with the audience. Try to look everyone in the room. It's not an easy task, but try to look around the room, try to go through the whole seat so people will think and understand that you're looking at them. Don't focus only on one person because you're more comfortable to do that. The fourth rule is to keep calm. Trust yourself and show that you're a confident person. If you're too stressed, you will transfer this energy to the others around you. If you're on a stage, walk on the stage. Have people moving and following you with their eyes. You keep them alert. They don't get bored. Also, vary your gestures. You don't have to do the same thing all the time. Move with different way, your heads, your arms, your hands. If you want people to focus on one point on presentation, you can either use a laser pointer or even go next to the screen and show it to them. Make them follow your hands. Use open gestures. Last two tips is that we need to breathe slowly so we can be relaxed. And of course, use positive gestures. If someone asks you something, say, good point, good question, I would like that. Smile, mirror back exactly what they're doing to you, because you will transfer, as I said, most of the times your energy. But what happens when we have a Zoom call, a teleconference call? People only see our heads or half of our body. So when you say something interesting, people will react to that. See the image. Think of your pet, your dog, your cat. So what happens when you tell your dog that if he wants to go for a walk, he will look like this? It's a signal of agreement, of engagement. An immediate reaction shows the feelings before we even express them. If people move back and start moving backwards and lower on their chair, since something that is showing that they are moving away and they're getting bored. So keep upright on your position, guys. When people focus on the screen, you can see that their eyes are around the camera, in case it's open. If people are looking low or somewhere else, or their phones actually, which goes like this, or if you trick it, it goes like this, but again, people are not actually looking on this camera, it shows that they are not really interested in what you're saying, or you got them too tired. Presentations usually on online meetings should not last for long. So wide open eyes show interest, blinking, and the red if blinks more, since that the person that is presenting or talking to you is under pressure. And a closed eye is like a block. I want to relax and continue. I'm either frustrated or I want just to relax, not answer back. Of course, the use of the eyebrows, it shows different things. It shows either disappointment, approval, or question. What do you think of the people on the image I want to tell us? Can you spot the real or the fake smiles? Yeah, it's here to the eyes. If people are actually making some wrinkles here, this is a real smile. If I'm just like, then probably it's not. If you want to read more, here are the references. You also find them in the comments. And remember that this is a general rule that when people are lying or telling the truth, remembering or constructing an image, a sound, or a feeling, they look to different directions. But don't start focusing on people and their body language all the time, because you're missing all the point. And remember that it's a combination of expressions. Some examples coming to an end. We'll see here Mark presenting all the new things that are happening to the left, but on the right side, he's trying to explain himself in the court. Can you see the way his hands are? On the left, they're open, and then they're closed. His body's open, and then he's more enclosed to his own space. Look at how many people are actually around him. But focus on the 4 people behind him. Can you see their body language? Can you understand how stressed they are? A new game series on Netflix is now showing, and it asks people to understand the body language of the one who is claiming the money, to say if he's telling the truth or he's not. Have a look at it and tell us what you think. So for any questions, you can write in the comments or contact me directly. Thank you very much.